ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tech Showdown. My name is Kevin, this is my co-host Teddy, and today we're checking out a gaming mouse. It's this guy right here, the Steelseries Rival 600. And this has a lot of people talking about it in the last few months, so I just thought I have to check it out. So let's start with the looks then. So I think it is a good looking gaming mouse. It has a very sort of modular, kind of a bit of an industrial look to it, which I really like. It is black all over, which is pretty typical nowadays, but it does have RGB lighting, which does set it off quite nicely. I do think it's a good looking mouse, but it's not a particularly original gaming mouse in terms of looks, but that doesn't really matter anyway, because your hand is covering it most of the time. So let's move over to something much more important, and that is the comfort. So it does have detachable sides, which is interesting, and I'm seeing more and more gaming mice doing this now, having parts that you can easily pull off. They are sort of soft rubber, which is okay, it's just a little bit slippery for me. It should be textured or something like that. But taking off the sides reveal where you can add up to 8 4-gram weights, and you can match them on either side, which means you can balance it exactly how you like it. So without the weights, it'll come in at about 96 grams, and with them all in, it'll come in at about 128 grams. Personally, I like very lightweight gaming mice. That's just how I've always liked it. So I ran it without any of the weights in. I did try it with the weights, but I prefer lighter the better for me personally. But other people who want a heavier gaming mouse, you can obviously add them in as many as you like, and I really like the way they've done it. The implementation is very, very good on it, so that's going to be nice for a lot of people out there. As far as the shape goes, your hand contours to it quite well. It's not quite as good as some of the other gaming mice out there, but it's still, pretty decent. So in terms of comfort overall, I would say it does a pretty good job. Not many people would complain about it, and if you're someone that's, being able to add weights is really important to you in a gaming mouse and getting that balance just right, then you're going to really like this guy. So let's move over and talk about the sensor, or in this case, sensors. So you might be thinking, well, why does it have two? So the second one is basically a depth detection sensor. What this means is it helps when you lift the gaming mouse off. It basically reduces the jitters when you lift it off and put it back down on your desk. I don't actually do that when I use a gaming mouse because I run very high DPI or CPI, so it's not an issue for me. But for those out there that run on the flip side, they run like on the 400 DPI or 600 or 800 or something, so you're constantly lifting it up and down. That's going to make a big difference for you, and it does get rid of a lot of those jitters that many people complain about. The primary sensor is a TrueMove 3 optical sensor with 12,000 CPI or DPI, and it's really fantastic. I had no issues with it at all. I used this for all my gaming in the last week, and I have no complaints with it at all. So even if you're someone like me that doesn't really require that second sensor for lifting it up and down, you're still gonna really like this guy because the primary sensor is just so damn good in it. It's really nice. If you pair it with one of Steelseries mouse pads, it's going to be even better. But yeah, overall, it's a very, very good sensor, even if you don't lift it off. So now let's talk about the buttons and the scroll wheel. So we'll start with the primary buttons, so your left and right click. And these are just fine, really nice, good travel, nice feel to them, no complaints here. The scroll wheel is also very, very good, nice texture to it, just the right amount of stiffness for me, so I really like that. The DPI button is a bit funny though. It's in the usual spot, as you guys can see, but it's really high compared to other ones. Like it sticks out quite a bit, and you can often hit it by accident when trying to press the mouse scroll wheel down. So that's a bit weird. There's 3 buttons on the side. The front one is kind of really far forward, so you're going to have a bit of a hard time reaching that. Even if you have big hands like me, it's going to be a little bit difficult. But the other 2 are just fine. My main issue with it, though, is because there's no texture on the rubber sides, it is still a little bit slippery. And if you try lift it up, oftentimes your hand may slip and you might accidentally activate one of those side buttons. That is something that happened to me a few times too. So that was a bit strange. So when it comes to the buttons and the scroll wheel, I would say it's a little bit of a mixed bag for me, even though the left and right click are so good, and same with the scroll wheel. Just a few of the other things they've done here are a little bit strange. So yeah, a bit of a mixed bag when it comes to the buttons and scroll wheel for me. Now let's talk about the software. So Steelseries Engine 3 is really simple and straightforward to use. It's easy enough to set all your mouse settings, including, lift off and acceleration and all that good stuff. And changing the lighting is also very easy. This is a software I really like. Many of them, especially Corsair, make their software way too complicated. I mean, Corsair's come a long way now, but back in the day, boy, you guys who used it, you know what I'm talking about. Where Steelseries Engine 3 is just very straightforward and very easy to use. Which brings us now to the conclusion. And what do I make of the Steelseries Rival 600 gaming mouse? So right now, here in New Zealand at playtech.co.nz, you can pick this guy up for 170 New Zealand dollars, which is quite a bit of money. So would I recommend it then? Is it worth you going out and buying this gaming mouse? Well, you have to think first, how hardcore of a gamer are you? Are you just a casual gamer? Do you just play a game every so often? You don't play, maybe heavy like esports titles or something like that? Then this is going to be pretty overkill for you. If you're not going to be a person that's going to take advantage of like the weights or all the other settings with it and software, then it may just be a little bit too overkill for you. But for those more serious gamers and the PC enthusiasts out there that really want to fine-tune the gaming mouse, then you guys are really going to like this guy. It is expensive, but it gives you a lot of customizability that I see so many of you comment about that you really want in a gaming mouse. So I think for those people out there, obviously it'll be a really good choice. If you're into esports or something like that, you're a serious gamer in that way, then it's also going to be a really good choice because of that customizability. And overall, for that type of person, I would say it's an excellent gaming mouse. So it's really just going to depend on what kind of user you are. More basic users or average users, you guys can save a bit of money and go towards something else a bit cheaper. But for the more serious gamers out there, then this is a serious gaming mouse. Now, I thank you all for watching this video. Please subscribe to Tech Showdown if you haven't already, and like the video. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.